Hey, it's ERIN CLARKE from wellplated.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my healthy Asian ramen salad. You might think you know this recipe because it is a staple at just about every potluck, but my version is lighter, brighter, and fresher. If you like easy, healthy recipes, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. I share a new one here every week. Our Asian ramen salad begins with its namesake, and that is ramen noodles. That's right, I'm talking about the 30-cent pack that you survived on in college, or for me, in college and a few years after college. So just tear open the packet. And the classic version of ramen noodle salad actually calls for 3 of these and all of these little seasoning packs that they come with. We're just gonna toss this. It's really high in sodium, and we can add a lot more other wonderful flavors that are more natural. But I mean, we've just gotta have the noodles. There's no making this salad without it. So pull them out, and then you just want to crunch them in big chunks all over a rimmed baking sheet like this. The reason that I'm putting them on a baking sheet is that prior to putting them in the salad, we're actually going to toast them in the oven. This really deepens their flavor. I know it probably sounds ridiculous that I'm talking about deepening the flavor of a ramen noodle, but I promise you it makes a really big difference, and it's just another reason that this salad is so dang addictive. Break up any great big chunks. You just kind of want them to be around the same size and then eventually easy to spear with a fork. Next, to give the salad even more crunch, I'm going to add some slivered almonds. You always, always, always want to toast your nuts before adding them to any salad recipe. It deepens their flavor, it makes them nice and crisp, and it's almost like a different food. It makes such a big difference. Toasting your nuts is a really easy way to up the level and the flavor of your cooking without a lot of extra effort. Just kind of want to spread them into a single layer like this. You can give the pan a little shake. Now I'm gonna pop these into a 425-degree oven for about 5 minutes until they start to toast, and then I'm gonna come back and add one more ingredient that I'll show you in a second. Okay, it has been about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna pull our almonds and ramen noodles out of the oven. They are just starting to turn golden. You can see some of the toastiness that is coming in on the noodles here. That is just perfect. And so now I'm gonna add one more ingredient that just takes 1 minute to toast, and that is sesame seeds. I cannot overstate how delicious sesame seeds are. I think they're really underutilized. They add an instant Asian flavor. They're great in Middle Eastern food, and they just make everything taste a little bit more toasty and satisfying. So once you've tossed your sesame seeds on here, I'm gonna kind of mix this around a little bit. It goes back into the oven for just 1 minute. That's all these teeny tiny seeds need to become extra flavorful. All right, our nuts, ramen noodles, and sesame seeds are out of the oven and cooling down a bit. So while that happens, I'm gonna make the dressing. This dressing is a really delicious mix of bright pops of acid. You've got some saltiness and a little bit of sweetness too. So in this measuring cup, I have a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is a total staple in Asian cooking, whether you are making a salad like this one, a stir fry. I always have some in my pantry. To the rice vinegar, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And I know dressing is something that you can kind of wing sometimes, but when I am making a big batch like this, I really like to measure because I wanna make sure that the balance of the flavors is just right. I tend to like my dressing a little bit more acidic, which is why you'll see more vinegar in this recipe than olive oil. And also rice vinegar is really mild, so it can take a lot. Now for some sweetness, I have honey. I'm gonna measure out 2 tablespoons of honey. A great tip is to measure the olive oil first into your measuring spoon. And that way when you do the honey, the spoon is coated and the oil slides right out. And here is 2. If you like your dressing a little bit sweeter, you can certainly squeeze in a little bit of extra as well. Next, for some saltiness, we have soy sauce. Soy sauce just has the most magnificent flavor. I love it in stir fries and salads, of course. I even sometimes like it dashed over eggs. It can add a really nice flavor, and I use it sometimes in slow cooker recipes too. And now, of course, a little S&P, salt and pepper. So now that I have all of my ingredients in here, I'm gonna give them a quick whisk. I like to use a smaller whisk like this one. I think it's really, really handy to have around. And as you can see, I'm just mixing everything up right in this measuring cup, and that saves me some dishes too. Always looking for ways to save on dishes. All right, set that aside, and now we are going to put everything together into a big, yummy bowl. Something that makes this salad so quick and easy is that it blends fresh ingredients like what we have in our dressing and a few other things we'll be adding with pantry staples and some things that you can buy already prepped for you. One of my favorites, bagged coleslaw mix. You can shred your own cabbage if you want to, but I find in this recipe it's just totally not necessary. I think part of why this salad is such a staple at so many potlucks is because it is so easy. I'm using a simple mix with cabbage. I think that's the most traditional, but there are a lot of different coleslaw varieties available now. Broccoli slaw is another one that I like a lot. To our coleslaw mix, now we're going to add some fresh ingredients. This is a really big differentiator in what makes this a healthy Asian ramen salad, and I also just think that it makes it so much more delicious than the quote-unquote salads that you usually see here in the Midwest. If you've spent much time in the Midwest, you know we use the term salad pretty loosely. It's edamame. You can buy it frozen, already out of its shells, just like this. It adds protein to the salad, and I think it has a really nice buttery texture and flavor. So we've got our coleslaw, we've got our edamame, we've got some carrots, another veggie. Next, we are going to add some green onions that I'm going to chop up, and those add a really nice little bit of bite to the salad. Part of what makes this recipe so great and better than maybe traditional salads without as many fresh ingredients is that it just really comes alive, and the green onions are a way to help with that. I almost always have green onions in my refrigerator. They're great for adding to quick weeknight dinners. They don't take very long to chop, and if you are a person that is very sensitive, they don't make you cry either, like yellow onions. We have had this Asian salad at probably every potluck and family reunion that I can remember. And if you come to any sort of parish gathering here in the Midwest, you are guaranteed to find it on a table. It is absolutely addictive. Like, I almost can't explain how good it is. If you've never tried it, please bring it to your next barbecue or joint dinner party. You will be amazed by how much people will love it. All right, now I'm going to add our dressing and give the salad a bit of a toss. You don't have to put it all in right away. You really just want enough to moisten the salad. You can always drizzle on more later, but it is really hard to take it away if you go too far. So, could I have made a bigger salad? I think I need a bigger bowl. Another reason that I love this for potlucks, in addition to the fact that it is so popular, is the fact that it can sit in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. So it's a great make-ahead option. I actually think that it tastes even better a couple of hours or even a full day after it's been resting. Okay, so that'll just get us started, and now we're going to add those yummy, crunchy toppings that we made. Oh my gosh, this smells so tasty and amazing. I absolutely love the way the ramen noodles and sesame seeds kind of get all tangled with the shreds of the coleslaw, so you get a little bit of coolness and a little bit of crunch in every single bite. This is looking a tiny bit dry, so I'm gonna put on a little bit more of our dressing here. And now I'm adding a final ingredient that you just cannot get fresh. It needs to come from a can. It is one of the rules of Asian ramen salad, and that is canned mandarin oranges. I drain off the extra syrup because I just don't think that it needs it. This salad is sweet enough without it with the honey, and you get a little sweetness from the carrots too. So I like to scatter these right over the top, make the salad look nice and pretty. And if you really love mandarin oranges, feel free to add in some extra. I know that it makes the salad really popular with kids, so you can definitely adjust it to your taste and your family's taste too. And that is it. I like to leave the oranges on top just so that they look like little jewels right on the salad. I can't wait for you to try this recipe and to share it with friends. Would you look at this? In addition to being so stunning and colorful, this salad is absolutely delicious. I know your friends and family are going to go crazy for it. Don't forget that I share a new healthy recipe like this every single week, so be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and I'll see you next time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta take a bite. You're gonna love this one.